Hey, what's up, everyone? This video, we're looking at the Friday 8-game slate for tonight. We have had pretty solid size slates all week, all in the 5 to 8 range, and then capping it off with an 8-game Friday is pretty appealing, so I'm excited about this one. Let's get into it. You can like the video down below and subscribe if you haven't already. Let's try to get 150 likes on the video. The biggest news we have to wait on is Russell Westbrook. That's going to change the entire slate. With Capella already being out, with Gordon out, with House doubtful. If Westbrook sits tonight, then Harden is obviously a lock. I like Harden either way, but if he's out, Harden's a lock. And you could go with a lot more value like Austin Rivers. Austin Rivers becomes a good play, and Macklin will probably see 30-plus minutes. So this news is going to really have a big impact on the slate. So at point guard, though, I'm kind of, at the top, Harden, I like him a lot. LeBron's all right at 10-8. I think his price where he should be, like I've been saying. Davis is going to play in this one. I think I'd rather go up to Harden, who has that 70-point upside. Not that James doesn't, but I think Harden will hit 70 more than James. Here you have Kimba and D'Lo, both good prices. I kind of prefer D'Angelo Russell just because he is cheaper, is going to take control of the offense. If this game happens to stay close, he will be the reason for it. He will be the one that scores 30-plus points. Price tag at $8,000 is pretty nice. Donovan Mitchell's cheap, 78. Brogdon's pretty nicely priced there. They said Devontae Graham is going to remain in the starting lineup. So, wish he was a little bit cheaper, but he's feasible. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is really, really cheap. Definitely one of my plays here at $5,900. He hasn't been playing great as of late. That's kind of brought his price tag down. But anytime a guy goes from like 7K to under 6K in one day, that's definitely a spot where I kind of do want to jump on. He's been shooting the ball fine. He's taken a ton of shots. He doesn't do a lot with peripherals, but he can still get you some rebounds. And he's at home, so hopefully this game stays competitive. See, Jeff Teague, if he came off the bench, played 23 minutes, and was still very productive, I want to see if he goes back into the starting lineup. Because if he does, that should be more minutes, and you can project him for more fantasy points than coming off the bench. I don't know if I can get burned by him again, but Corey Joseph, I think, is still, on a slate where we don't have a lot of value. I think he makes sense just because he is still cheap, $4,600. The fact that he played 38 minutes last time out, couldn't hit a shot, just 1 of 6. But I do expect him to score more than 3 real-life points. He will probably get more assists. I think if you put him out there on the court for like 35 to 38 minutes, he's not been great per minute-wise, but I think he can still get you like mid-20s, get you close to 30. If he has a good game, can get you 30. And yeah, until we get better value, I think he's a fine play. I'm going to go pretty quick through this because I'm still going to give you guys my Fanduel video, but like James Harden at shooting guard, he is just the guy. He scored 70-plus in 4 of 5 games. They are really depleted. More rebounds to go around for everybody without Capella, who's literally brought in 20-plus rebounds the last 3 games. And if Westbrook's out, then Harden, you can probably pencil him in for like a triple-double or close to it. At home, he's going to take 25-plus shots. He's taken a ton of threes. And the only difference is now, instead of the beginning of the year, is that he's starting to hit his shots. So when you get Harden confident and hitting his shots, he's going to continue to chuck, and still good with the assists. Can get you a double-double there. Just think that he's the guy I want to pay up for on this slate. At small forward, probably the best value play that we have right now. I don't know if a ton of people will be jumping on it, but that's PJ Tucker at $4,500. The reason he's one of the best value plays is without Capella, they're going to run a lot of small ball lineups. They're going to put PJ Tucker at the 5. They did that last year a lot. And when you get PJ Tucker playing center, you get him getting a ton of more rebounding opportunities, a lot more looks to right at the basket. And he's very cheap still, $4,500 for a guy that, with all the injuries, is going to play close to 40 minutes, just like he did last time out. I feel pretty solid about him getting at least in the 20s in Draftkings points. That's like his floor. And his upside is like 30s, maybe in the 40s if he's shooting the ball really well. But really, I think he can get you over 30 fantasy points in this one. just because they are going to play small. They don't really have any other option. They have Tyson Chandler, who I do like him just because he's cheap, but when he's not on the court, they're going to play Tucker at the 5, and Tucker should get a lot more looks with all those guys out. Power forward here, I still love Sabonis, just 8,700 for him. Last time out was a blowout, so he only saw 29 minutes, but he was on pace for well over 50-plus fantasy points. In this one against Houston, he will start at center again. Miles Turner's out. Batadze is back, but Batadze, I would expect him to come off the bench. I don't think they want him defending PJ Tucker. So I like Sabonis here, 8,700 price tag is still appealing. If you look at other power forwards here, Davis 10 is 96. If you want to get up there, you can. But I think everybody else is kind of priced where they should be. Tatum 74. Blake Griffin, we'll see how much his minutes go up. He played 24. I don't think he'll play over 30 for maybe a couple games. Aldridge, tough matchup against the Magic. Harris just been bad this year. Shooting wise, especially from 3, shooting 20% from 3. Yeah, just not a lot to love here. I like Warren a little bit at 6K. Maybe Draymond at 53. And then if you're starved for value, you could go with Tucker at power forward. There's not a lot to like at like super value right now at power forward, so might as well pay for a guy that I know will get me 40 plus fantasy points with upside in the 50s. Still at a sub 9K price range. At center here, I like Embiid at 9,200. If Westbrook's out, then I'll definitely do my best to get Embiid in there. Right now, I think it's a little tough just because we don't know the status of Westbrook, and there's not like other value plays on the slate. But I think I'll go with 4K Tyson Chandler just because he's cheap. I usually like playing value centers. When you get value centers, value point guards, they're a lot more appealing than playing like a value shooting guard. I would expect him to play in the 20s in minutes. He played 16 off the bench. He's not going to go out there and play 35 minutes. He's just not in that shape. But if he plays about 20 minutes, then 20 to 25 minutes, he can put up like point per minute wise. He's been averaging a point per minute on the year. Get you about 6x, maybe a little bit more than that if he's playing well. So I think it makes for a fine value option just because if you look at how many players the Rockets played last time out, they were very few. They barely played anybody off the bench. They played Rivers. They played, Clemens played like 10 minutes. They don't have many out bodies right now, so they're going to run Harden to the ground. They're going to run PJ Tucker to the ground, and Chandler's going to play how much he can play. And then at guard, I go with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander just because he's cheap. 5,900 for him is pretty appealing for a guy that can put up 40-plus fantasy points, playing a lot of minutes in competitive games. Last time was a blowout, big-time blowout against the Pacers. But he's definitely priced very cheap. The biggest price jump I've seen on the slate is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander going from $1,200 down. So this is what I'm liking for Draftkings. Jump to Fanduel now. Same kind of deal. We got to see what the status of Westbrook. Right. The guy I like is $6,600 from Mike Conley. He's not been very good this year, but he's going back to Memphis if you're into those revenge scenarios. He's still playing decent minutes in the 30s, above 30 minutes. You can pencil him in for. And the matchup here is fine here against a rookie, Ja Morant. Morant's been great, but they don't like to play him a lot of minutes either. They kind of limit him to under 30 a lot of the games. But Conley can, a great defensive player, getting steals. And he's definitely comfortable with this court. So I'm hoping at 6,600 he can have like a 40-plus point game. He hasn't had many of those yet, but it's definitely going to come. I think he just has to get a little bit more comfortable with his team. Shooting guard, Harden is definitely the guy at 12.5. Just because of basically what I said on Draftkings, right? So I love him here. I think Russell's fine at 91. Beal at 93. Both of those are fine options. Wiggins is up to 9K. Like, that is a big price tag. He's been paying it off, so shout out to Wiggins, but just can't feel comfortable about paying that price tag. And for value here, not a lot to like. Maybe Schroeder again, although he wasn't great, but could bounce back here at 58. Not a lot to love at value. I like Buddy Hield, Bogdanovich. I think maybe you can go to Buddy Hield in this one just because Everybody will play Bogdanovic. Hield is just $100 more. Last time out, it was easy to play Bogdanovic over Hield just because he was much, much cheaper. But now that Hield is just basically the same price tag, I think playing him over Bogdanovic could make for a nice leverage play. Small forward here, I am going with TJ Warren, 6,400. He has just been, he's been fine. He's had to take a lot bigger scoring load with the injuries that they've suffered. He has a solid floor. His upside is decent in the 40s. He will get 40 fantasy points if he manages to get a couple of defensive stats, especially on Fanduel, where you get 3 points for blocks and steals. This Houston team does play fast. There will be a lot of rebounds to go around just because they don't have, no Capella here. He just has to be a little bit more aggressive with the peripherals, and I'll feel really good about it. But it's also a position where you have Harrison Barnes above him. Never really feel great about playing Barnes. You have Gallo in a tough matchup against Philly. You could go Bogdanovic, 63. Gay is priced up, and his matchup is tough. And Bridges is over 6K now. I like Bridges when he was right around 5K, 5,500. He's up to 62. Maybe Glenn Robinson could be a nice value at 4,600. And then if Culver starts again, you could look at him at just 4,400. And a guy I like is Joe Ingles, just because he's cheap. I'd expect him to turn his season around. He's still been fine in some of these games, just paying off a $4,300 price tag is not hard to do. Last time out, he played 32 minutes, so his minutes are there. Probably we'll see 27 to 29 in close games, 27 to 30 in close games. Yeah, he's pretty appealing at that price tag, I would say. Power forward Sabonis, just feel really good about him again. We'll see more minutes in this one. Should it be a close game, we'll be able to eat on the glass without Capella. Just a monster. And we'll go back to PJ Tucker. 5K for him is still fine. On FanDuel, you get extra points for blocks and steals, which is what PJ Tucker is known for, racking up those blocks and steals. I would expect him to get a double-double here, at least 10 rebounds, just because, like I said, they're gonna play small ball at times, and he's gonna play 5. So I like Tucker whenever he does get that opportunity, just because you feel pretty good about projecting him for more fantasy points at that position. And that's what I'm liking for FanDuel. This is what I like for DraftKings. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. If you liked the video, if you enjoyed, and good luck today.